It finally happened. Goku versus Jiren. Now, this episode was completely, I'd say, amazing. 10 out of 10. I couldn't ask for anything more. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the best episodes in Dragon Ball Super. To be honest, I think as of right now, this is most likely going to be top 2 or 3 in Dragon Ball Super. So to be honest, if you guys haven't seen this episode, what the are you doing with your life? Going into the actual episode now, to be honest, at first I felt like Goku Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken 20 times 20. I thought that could actually do something against Jiren. This is specifically, I think, episode 109, but honestly, that didn't do anything. And you kind of seen what Krillin was actually explaining, where Goku was actually like testing Jiren out, like he was powering up, going from Super Saiyan 1 to 2. He skipped Super Saiyan 3, which I said a lot of times is my favorite form. That pissed me off. Then after he went to Super Saiyan Blue, and it was completely crazy. Jiren basically, he didn't even really feel anything from Super Saiyan Blue. Now, they made it extremely clear, 100% clear, that if Goku was to actually beat Jiren, Goku would have to beat Jiren in that form that we actually seen earlier. Now, I think that's cool to me. To be honest, I felt like once Goku would turn into that new form or new state, then he would automatically be miles ahead of Jiren, but that was not actually the case. So now for the audience, it gives us that kind of fear, that kind of iffiness, that kind of uncertainty, is if he is going to go back into that form. And I think of course he will go back into that form, mainly because when we've seen all the previews and all the spoilers, he had his shirt off. So I'm guessing that's the main fight, and that's the time where Goku's gonna actually beat Jiren, or supposedly get close to beating Jiren, but I'll talk about that later in the video. But whenever Goku goes into a new state, he usually beats his opponent like completely. For example, when he first turned Super Saiyan and then completely beat Frieza, and I understand that was just to give the audience the impact of Super Saiyan, but you get where I'm coming from. As an audience now, we have no idea, even if he does turn back into that Super Saiyan form, if he's gonna definitely beat Jiren, because Jiren looks like he handled that form extremely well. It looks like they're probably even match. And honestly, I don't even know what's gonna happen the next time they actually fight each other. Now, obviously, we know that Goku's gonna be alive because this is the hiatus between Dragon Ball Z and the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, or the last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. So obviously he's gonna be there, but we still don't know if Goku's gonna be the actual person to take down Jiren. And that's kind of interesting to me, because a lot of people are saying that Goku is the only person that could possibly take down Jiren. A lot of people forgot this. Jiren hasn't been fighting throughout this whole tournament of power, and I'm pretty sure you guys know he came into that one glob guy, he just completely knocked him out of the ring. I don't really call that a fight, but Goku has been grinding this whole tournament of power. So I think once Jiren gets his feet wet and then he fights Goku again, he probably won't be the same strength. Like, he probably won't be as full power and as max power as he was before. For example, how Jiren is gonna eventually fight Hit in the next episode, and then I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to fight other people. But again, Frieza is pretty much the same level as Goku, so I'm guessing if Frieza could possibly maybe actually give Jiren some problems. And again, Frieza's stability and his stamina is pretty much off the charts at this point, man, because he had to sit in hell for like all of eternity, or almost all of eternity, before Goku actually saved him. And I think Frieza could possibly do something to him. Now, I'm not saying that Frieza's gonna beat him or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure Frieza could possibly dent him, make Jiren work a little bit before Goku actually gets back on his feet. But the thing about Goku in that limit breaker form, or whatever people are calling it now, when he was in that form, he really didn't know what he was doing. I don't want to say he didn't know what he was doing, but Piccolo actually said it. He said every time Goku blocks a hit, or every time he throws a punch, Goku is getting stronger, which means he's getting more familiar with what that form can and cannot actually do. And I think once he actually fights enough in that form, he could possibly maintain that form for a longer period of time. He could possibly maximize his abilities in that form. Now, don't get me wrong, I still don't believe that it's a sure that Goku is going to beat Jiren, because obviously Jiren is completely out of everybody's league except Goku and Frieza at this point. And even Frieza's an if, because if Frieza doesn't obtain a quote-unquote limit breaker form, it's over for Frieza. But honestly, if Goku does find out, or does maintain his energy and stamina, and actually gets way better like what Piccolo said he is, after every punch and after every block, I think Goku could possibly be a little bit stronger than Jiren. I don't think he's going to be completely stronger than Jiren or anything like that, but I think in the end, Goku could possibly beat or notch him a little bit. Now, one thing I was kind of confused about back in episode 109 was when he was actually fighting that Spirit Bomb. This is kind of something funny, and I understand why they didn't have anybody help, but I'm like, yo, Goku was struggling to block a Spirit Bomb. You couldn't have Vegeta fly behind the Spirit Bomb or something like that and help Goku deflect it back to Jiren or something like that. But it was just hilarious to me, and I know a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, but Dispo and Top are probably going to jump behind the Spirit Bomb as well. But if if you guys think about it, Universe 7 has way more members. We could have had Frieza, Vegeta, Piccolo, Android 17, Android 18. They could have all hopped behind the Spirit Bomb and just helped deflect it. I mean, I don't know, but I get where they're coming from. It was a nice scene, to be honest. And to be honest, as I said, this is pretty much probably the best episode. Now, I'd say top 3 best episodes of Dragon Ball Super, depending on some of you guys' personal views. But again, I feel like this episode is definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely, I mean 100% a 10 out of 10. Now I'm hoping in the next episode, when we actually do see Hit fight, and I'll probably make a video on the preview, hopefully that fight is going to be extremely amazing as well. And I don't think it's going to be on the same level as Goku versus Jiren or anything like that, but I think Hit is pretty much a little bit as strong as Goku in the Kaioken form, and I think Hit could possibly, you know, do something against Jiren. Now definitely don't get me wrong, I don't think that Hit is going to beat Jiren. I think Jiren is pretty much going to wipe the floor with him, but in terms of showing everybody else what Jiren could actually do and what his actual moveset is, I think that would be extremely great. And we did see that red aura around Jiren like at the last second, and I think because of that, he has a lot of stuff that he hasn't showed us yet. And I think if Jiren fights a lot more people before Goku gets back on his feet, for example, he fights Hit, if he fights another person like Frieza, I think it could possibly be a good sign for Goku, because he would be able to see more about Jiren, because as you guys know, Jiren's seen all of Goku's move and Goku really hasn't seen any of Jiren's move. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. As I said, I think it's a 10 out of 10, first time I ever rated an episode on this channel. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys comment for the 15 minutes to be featured in my next Dragon Ball Super episode. But it's been your boy Baara, and we out. Back.
For my city, I'm the youngest nigga reppin'. Oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend. Oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend. I'm a first.